7 different winners in 7 races. Try and predict your winner of round 8 of the British Touring Car Championship, which is moments away. Try to predict the weather as well as the clouds start to gather once more around Donington. Tim Harvey and Ben Edwards are your commentators.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yes, the conditions are a little bit changeable once again, but at the moment the track is pretty much dry, Tim.
Yeah, perfectly dry. Everybody on slick tyres. Conditions much more like practice, so everybody knows where they are. But of course, we've got some ballasted cars at the front of the grid and some quick ones behind.
Yes, it is an interesting grid. We've got James Thompson, of course, starting from pole position, courtesy of his win earlier on today. But he's carrying maximum ballast, and alongside him is Andy Jordan, now carrying 36 kilos of lead. On the second row, Matt Neal, championship leader, great drive in race 1. He starts third. Rob Collard in the fast-starting BMW is fourth. Then it's Harry Volkart having his best weekend so far. Johnny Adam in the second Airways BMW's on row 3 with him. Then Jason Plato and Fabrizio Giovanardi. They had some great battles in race 1. Let's see what they can do in race 2. Behind them we've got Adam Jones and Matt Jackson. Jackson set the fastest lap in that last race. Martin Johnson and Tom Chilton are together on row number 6. Johnson with a great chance perhaps of getting in the top 10. Liam McMillan, Dave Pinkney are next up, row number 7. And then we've got Martin Bell and Alan Morrison. Behind those two is John George and first of the victims in the gravel earlier on, Paul O'Neill. Watch for that car, it is fast. Then we've got Colin Turkington coming from row 10. No Stephen Jelly, I'm afraid. That car was too badly damaged to get him back out for this race. And then right at the back is the rear-wheel drive, diesel-powered BMW driven by Nick Leeson. So that's how they line up.
Always tough for the cars at the front, now carrying maximum ballast, and I think the cars to the watch here are the cars in second and fourth and 8th place. That's Rob Collard, who makes great starts and is only carrying 18 kilos, and of course Giovanardi, who's got 0 ballast and starts 8th. They'll be the two to watch.
Let's see if we can grab a quick word with Matt Jackson. He's just out on the warm-up lap at the moment. Hi Matt, this is Ben in the commentary box. Great fastest lap towards the end of that first race. Just tell us, what are the conditions like now for this one?
Circuit conditions at the moment, guys. It's obviously bone dry. Looks like there's no puddles anywhere. Expect to see the chicane get a little bit slippy though, because I guess everybody's going to be cutting through the mud on the apexes, so that could produce some fun. And well, looking over to my left at the minute, looks like the black clouds are on their way.
Okay, we'll have a good one, and we'll keep an eye on Matt Jackson's progress here, starting, as we say, in 10th place. You can see him just working the pedals as well.
Yeah, just getting the heat in the brakes, and that heat dissipating all the way through the front wheels into the tyre as well.
So everybody now moving into place. James Thompson coming through to the pole position here. He took his 34th career win in the British Touring Car Championship a little bit earlier on today. His first win since Croft in 2006 when he was doing a partial season. But of course he's back in full-time in the Team Dynamics Honda. There it is with those yellow flashes. Andrew Jordan in the Vauxhall, and then Matt Neal in another Vauxhall, second and third on the grid. But watch the 4th place car, Liam McMillan in the pit, so problems there for the youngster. But watched 4th placed Rob Collard in the BMW. He made a good start at the start of race 1, and we know how quick he can be off the line. All set for round 8 of the championship. Lights out, away we go.
Long hole.
It is, and Rob Collard does try and squeeze through. He's through past both second row men. He's past both Vauxhalls, and it's Thompson who has the lead as they head down into Redgate. But Collard shoots into second place. Matt Neal is in third. Oh, contact between Collard and Thompson there through Redgate. I'm not sure which of them is going to come out ahead.
Well, it was as predicted. There was carnage behind.
Paul O'Neill, is it? Or is it Martin Bell? Martin Johnson, definitely one of them off. I think it is O'Neill. Yeah, that's a great shame. He's not having such a good run of it. Trying to get back on, wheel spinning. It's Thompson that leads, Collard in second, Matt Neal in third, and then watch out for the other Airways BMW. Johnny Adam, he's trying to squeeze past Andrew Jordan as they come up to McLean's.
Yeah, the first 3 have got away very strongly. The BMW doesn't heat its tyres up quite as quickly as the front-wheel drive cars, so Collard really needs to hold his position until he gets his tyres fully up to temperature.
And behind, Johnny Adam getting down the inside, or trying to, of Andrew Jordan, couldn't do it. Safety car has been called. The safety car will be coming out, so they will all have to bunch up together once again. And as soon as it's been called for, they have to stop racing now. The rules have changed. You have to stop trying to overtake each other as soon as the safety car.
Well, they have to stop overtaking as soon as they see the boards, which go out in both directions, start the finish line, but no sign that these guys have stopped racing yet.
Well, they're crossing a line now, and they'll have to stop racing because they are coming up behind the safety car. It's Thompson leading, Collard in second place, Matt Neal in third, Andrew Jordan in fourth, Johnny Adam in 5th. Matt Jackson, good first lap from Matt Jackson. He's gone from 10th to 6th. The man we were talking to a moment ago, it's Nick Leeson's car that's off in the gravel trap there at Redgate.
Yeah, that should be fairly easy to recover. He's just got the back wheels in the gravel, but a straight pull out should get him out fairly quickly. But as you say, yeah, good start from Jackson. And just watch Collard start. We're going to have a replay. And I think he's already decided where he's going. He lines a car up and he fires it straight between the two cars in front, who don't close up the gap, and he's through into second before they even reach the braking area. And then he gave a little tap just to the back of Tomo's car in the braking area. I think he was hoping to just push him wide, just there. But Tomo hangs on to it, doesn't run too wide, and still has momentum down through the craners. And there goes Nick Leeson off in the background.
Yeah, just cold tyre, looked like it.
It looked like it. Looked like it.
Now this was coming as they came down through the Craner curves. The incident between Paul O'Neill, I didn't really quite see how that began, did you?
No, I think it was just as the circuit turns to the right, obviously there's a variety of lines there, but if everybody just takes a different line and closes up, that's what happens.
Now this is on board with Matt Neal. What's to your left as Rob Collard just shoots past?
Yeah, he's there already, isn't he? I mean, Matt was not a bad getaway, fairly similar to Thompson in front of him, but in fairness to Rob Collard, he did lock a wheel there, so I don't think that was a deliberate tap at all. I think he was literally just struggling to stop the car.
Yeah, cold tyres and everybody just trying to get a bit of heat in those tyres, and then that was down through Craners. Matt Neal was slotted into 3rd by then. Now this is another look. This is Matt Jackson's start from 10th. Now he's got up to 6th by the end of the lap. Let's see how he managed to do it, shall we?
Yeah, this should be interesting because he gets a good run down the outside, which is not usually the best place to be. He's alongside Plato on the inside. Oh, there's a touch there just in front of him, which fortunately for him doesn't come out wide, and he gets past all of them.
Well, that's amazing, isn't it? About sort of 7 times out of 10 he would have ended up in the gravel there.
You would have expected him to, yeah.
This was O'Neill. This is the onboard shot with O'Neill. Let's see what happened to him. Did he get hit by somebody? Well, look at the inside.
It looks like he's trying. Oh, I think, yeah, what happened was he moved across out to the left, touched the front of another car, and that turned him around the front into the other Martin Bell's car.
Great shame there for Paul O'Neill, but he is down at the back now. Thompson is leading this race. James Thompson, Rob Collard, Matt Neal, and then Andrew Jordan, and then it's Matt Jackson who is in 6th place. So,
well, there's the damaged car of Paul O'Neill. He's got back going again, but seriously compromised on his aerodynamics on the front there, so he's going to be struggling for a finish.
So the safety car is still out there. I think the lights are still on. Yes, they are. So while they're behind safety car, gives us a chance perhaps to catch up with Matt Jackson. He started in 10th place. He's got up to 6th position. So let's go and have a word with him and see what he made of it. This is Ben in the commentary box.
71.8.
Matt, that was a very, very good start. You're up to 6th place. Well done. Oh, we're just the team are actually talking to him at the same time there, so I don't think he managed to hear us. We'll wait a second and wait for them to finish briefing him. He's just going through Redgate Corner and back down the hill.
Well, Matt's actually a very difficult person to speak to from our commentary box because he's always talking to his team.
Yeah, he's always getting more information, learning what he can. The team's saying how cool he is, actually. He's a very cool customer.
He is a cool customer, but he likes to everything that's happening.
Yeah. This
was on the run down to the chicane. Watch Plato coming down the inside of Adam and I think that's Morrison or Chilton. So he's gone past 2 cars. Now, if that's under the safety car, he's going. Now there's the safety car board on the outside, but was it in display coming into the area? I should think it probably was.
I think there was a yellow, yeah, a bit further up, but it's a question when the yellow came out. Pretty of a tricky one. Let's see if we can talk to Matt now, Matt Jackson. This is Ben in the commentary box. Matt, that was a great start and good first lap. You're up to 6th. Well done. Oh, I don't know if he's hearing us there. Not getting any reaction. We'll leave that for now then. So he's maybe focusing on what he's doing to get ready. The lights are out.
Lights are out. Now, yeah. Thompson had a good restart in the first race. Let's see if he does it again now. He's gone already.
Yeah, here we go. James Thompson are getting the hammer down already. It's Collard who chases him in the Airwaves car. Runs a bit wide as well, and that could give Matt Neal a chance as they come down towards Redgate. Matt Neal's certainly going to have a go. He's trying to squeeze into a little gap, but Collard closes the gap. Doesn't let him through. Matt Neal goes back to the outside. The Vauxhall all over the back of that BMW. Andrew Jordan slots in behind them. Then it's Johnny Adam, and behind them it's Matt Jackson as they come through into the Crane of Curves. James Thompson is making a run for it here. What a great restart.
Yeah, great restart, but the BMW's just struggling with slightly cooler tyres. Here comes Matt Neal down the inside. Great move.
Lovely stuff. No contact made. Oh, off goes Collard. He put a wheel over the edge, spins in front of everybody, and Volkard goes off to the grass. Has he kept it out of the barrier? Yes, he has.
Yeah, I think in actual fact, Andrew Jordan just caught the back of Collard's car. I don't think he put his wheel too far wide. He just got caught, and that'll be Jordan going off with damage to the left front. I'll guarantee it.
Right, okay, I didn't spot that, but he certainly you spotted it well, Tim. There's his damage to the left front. You can see it on the bumper there, and he's out of the race, so puncture presumably.
Yeah, that's the corner that contacted with the back of Collard's car as well. So. No surprise there.
And that means that Johnny Adam has now come up to third because those two guys have had problems. And here comes Giovanardi. He's now ahead there of Jackson. So he's got past both of the Chevys. And that means Giovanardi's gaining ground here. And of course, he needs to because Matt Neal is currently sitting second in this race, the championship leader. Let's take a look back to what happened to Rob Collard. There's Collard.
Yeah, there was definitely contact. And he was very lucky just to avoid it. And there you can see Jordan struggling with his hobbled car up the left-hand side.
And that's where Giovanardi got past Jackson.
Yes, yeah.
As a result of all that loss of momentum. So, yeah, he took advantage of that. Thompson leads, but it's Matt Neal now on the chase, and that Vauxhall is fast. Then it's Johnny Adams, so Giovanardi's up to fourth place now. Matt Jackson is in fifth. The two Racing Silverline Chevrolets are line astern because you've got Jackson fifth and then Jason Plato in sixth. And then behind them, you've got Adam Jones in seventh in the Cartridge World car. Colin Turkington, who started back on row 10, 19th place on the grid. Turkington's up to 8th in the Team RAC machine. Tom Chilton and Alan Morrison, both in the points at the moment for Team Aon, so that's good news. But let's get back on board with Matt Jackson. He's in 5th and he's chasing Giovanardi.
Yeah, great race at the front, and Thompson is just holding that gap at the moment, but it's less than a second towards Neal, and these two old protagonists here comes Plato down the inside.
Yeah, Plato on Jackson, and he's pulled it off, yes he has. So that means that Plato moves into 5th position. The two teammates very evenly matched. Of course, a bit of a slide in the background for Collard there, coming out of the chicane. He's trying to recover after that earlier incident. You've got David Pinkney in the black and pink machine. Behind him is Alan Morrison, who's now dropped to 11th place, just outside the points. Then it's Paul O'Neill, then Collard there, John George in the JAG machine, Harry Volkard after his grassy moment. Well, he's right down there in 16th place with Martin Bell just behind him.
Yeah, just hope that Collard hasn't got some damage on that right rear. Seems to go through Craner's okay, so he's okay, but it looked a bit leery coming out of the chicane, didn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit worrying. There's Volkard, who gets a bit wide himself, but gathers it back together just about in time. And Collard trying to recover some of that lost ground after looking like a real potential, at least podium finisher in this second race of the day.
Well, the front-wheel drive guys know that they need to pounce on the rear-wheel drive cars in the first 2 or 3 laps before they get their tyres really up to temperature. And clearly that was the problem there. Rob was struggling just to stay in that position, and the cars behind just ganged up on him.
Yeah, well, the leader's coming through. Is James Thompson leading? He'll be coming around to complete lap number 7. On to lap 8 out of 19. Paul O'Neill here, despite the bit of damage to the front end of the car, he's still working fairly hard. Just got past Morrison, so that puts him up into 11th place. Rob Collard follows him through. And Collard obviously with a potentially very quick car, now in 12th position. Morrison down to 13th. John George followed by Volkard and Bell. Let's just take a look at Paul O'Neill here. How did he make this move?
He's going to tuck back right across the inside and use that great traction that the Honda Integra has always had to power around the inside.
Yep, made it look very easy, didn't he? That just shows you how well the car works at that Coppice corner. And there is Paul O'Neill recovering after the spin on that first lap. But up front is James Thompson that leads in the Team Dynamics Honda Civic. Matt Neal is second for VXR, and then look at Giovanardi behind Johnny Adam. This is for 3rd place, and the Vauxhall there of Fabrizio Giovanardi, the double champion, is really bearing down on the young Scot in his first full season of touring cars.
Well, don't forget that Giovanardi in qualifying had set the fastest lap, and that was carrying some ballast. So potentially he's the fastest car as he slips up the inside Johnny Adam. Johnny doesn't fight back. Good overtake, but whoa, a bit of a slide on the way out. But it looked like a rear-wheel drive car there for a moment. But Giovanardi was the fastest man in qualifying carrying ballast, so now with no ballast at all, you would expect him to push his way to the front.
Yeah, and he's still got his teammate Matt Neal in 2nd place ahead of him. There's Matt Jackson, he's sitting in 6th place behind teammate Jason Plato, and then Turkington is up to 7th behind those two, so he's still picking up a few places here in the Team RAC BMW, having come from pretty much towards the back of the grid, and these guys all pretty close together. Giovanardi might have got past Johnny Adam, but he's not really escaping their clutches at the moment.
Well, the RAC cars work really well on used tyres. There you're looking at Jackson's feet down there, hard on the throttle, dives onto the brakes, 2 dabs of the clutch as he goes down through the gears, so braking with his right foot conventionally, not using the left foot, and heeling and towing.
That's right, yeah, using the clutch to go down the box, and that's the onboard with Matt Jackson. So that's 6th place at the moment, still tucked in behind his teammate Jason Plato. A lot of mud across the front of Jackson's car, but he's got Colin Turkington right behind him. Let's just watch him down into the chicane. He gives a little dab on the brake with the left foot to make sure the brake pressure's there, and meanwhile, look at that, Johnny Adam and Jason Plato for a moment were side by side, but they just about get through in the same order. So Adam holds on to 4th, Plato 5th, Jackson 6th.
Yeah, obviously no use of the clutch as they go up through the gearbox, just tugging at the lever and pulling up through the gears. That dab on the brakes before they got there is just to press the pads back up onto the discs. If they run onto the curbs on the exit, the rumble strips, the vibration just knocks the pad back, and because he wants a nice hard pedal, he taps the brake to get the pads back.
So all that going through a driver's mind. There are the leaders. Look how close Matt Neal is to the back of James Thompson's Honda. Remember, the Honda carrying maximum ballast of 45 kilos. Matt Neal still carrying a reasonable amount. He's got 27. But I'm impressed with the way that James Thompson is carrying maximum ballast, and at the moment, he's fending Matt Neal off.
Well, both these cars have some ballast, obviously, but I mean, it was never the Civic's forte carrying ballast and on winning races. But certainly James is doing a very strong job here.
Yep, so far so good from his point of view, but there's still a fair way to go. We're about half distance in this second race of the day at Donington. So far conditions are dry in this race. Matt Neal closes up under braking, doesn't quite make contact with the back of the Honda, but it's nothing much to choose between them as they come over the line. It was 3/10 of a second last time, much the same gap as they crossed the line this time. And Matt Neal might be quite happy to just stay here for a little while, trying to ease away a bit further from Giovanardi in 3rd place, because that in a way is his big rival in terms of championship points.
Yeah, I think he'd be quite happy at the moment, as you say, but if James really does start to hold him up, he'll look for a way through, but certainly he'll be very happy beating Giovanardi if he can.
Yeah, that's got to be his main target at the moment. He doesn't want to throw away a solid second position. The Vauxhall looks very, very composed through the old hairpin as Thompson just runs a fraction wider, but he does love this Donington Park circuit, as we saw earlier on today. Wet conditions earlier on, and now in these drier conditions, the Honda still showing great pace here. Vauxhall in 2nd and 3rd positions. Andy Jordan, of course, was out of luck, and we saw his car off at the side of the road. So Nick Leeson and Liam McMillan, those are the 3 cars out of this race so far. But up front, Thompson just about in control. Matt Neal in 2nd, Giovanardi in 3rd. Johnny Adam is still in 4th place in the Airwaves BMW. Behind him is Jason Plato in the Racing Silverline car. Then it's his teammate Matt Jackson. There is Colin Turkington in the number 4 car, and he's definitely putting a bit more pressure on as we go into the second half of this race. And remember, after this race, we'll reverse the order of either the top 6, top 7, depends on the draw, but the top cars will be reversed on the grid for race 3.
Yeah, and I'm surprised Giovanardi hasn't sort of pulled away a little bit more than from Johnny Adam and that group. He's certainly not making any inroads into these front 2. And on the last lap, the first 2 cars did identical lap times of 1:14.1. Giovanardi slightly quicker, 13.8, but at the same time with Jonathan Adam, really.
Yeah, that's interesting, and if anything, the Chevrolet's slightly quicker, doing 13.7, so that is a surprise. I agree with that, and Giovanardi not showing the sort of pace he did in qualifying yesterday. Up the hill they come.
Jackson setting his fastest lap on that last lap, a bit like the first race where he took a little while to get into it, but certainly flying now. And Turkington should be very quick. The RAC team, as I was starting to say earlier, in practice they found they could do virtually identical times after lap tyres had done 100 laps.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, the new tyre didn't seem to gain them a lot. Johnny Adam in the foreground with Plato. Plato having a little look here, and in the background it's Jackson versus Turkington. Remember, these two were battling for the Independence Championship all through last year, and there's a bit wide from Jackson. A rare mistake from Matt. Jackson's given a real chance here, and Turkington takes that chance with both hands.
Yeah, well, you could see that. Oh, and a dive up the inside from Plato on Johnny Adam. Plato gets sideways.
Has he done it? Has he got enough momentum? I'm not sure he has. Johnny Adams kept his foot in. They're still side by side. Who's going to win it through Craner curves? Plato's going to try and do it. Give him a bit of space. Oh, good stuff. He's gone through.
Yeah, Plato very sensible there. He left the car's width on the inside so that if Johnny Adam was there, he still had racing room.
A clever bit of racing going on, and suddenly Plato finds two cars between himself and his teammate Matt Jackson. Very little to choose between them, but Plato now into 4th position, Adam back to 5th, Turkington into 6th place, and this is on board with Jackson at the back of that particular group. He's sitting in 7th place now because he's behind Colin Turkington, and now you've got those two BMWs ahead of him. I wonder if there's going to be any difference between Johnny Adam in the Airwaves car and Turkington in the Team RAC machine.
Well, Turkington looks to be coming on stronger now, doesn't he? But it's interesting, although the track is completely dry, of course the curbs on the exit, and this is one of them coming up here just on the exit there, they're still very wet, and the grass is even wetter, so it's catching a few people out.
Yeah, it was Matt Jackson who paid that price last time around, wasn't it? But Plato going well here, Turkington just hunting around, no chance there because Johnny Adam keeps a pretty defensive middle line on the approach into Redgate, and Matt Jackson will fight back given half a chance here. It was only that little mistake out of the chicane last time that really dropped him the places, and now through Craner's fantastic part of the track, this sweeping fast flat out corner, and in these conditions when it's damp offline you've got to be a little careful, although the track itself now is pretty much dry. Plato heading up the hill, he's in 4th place. There's Mum looking a bit nervous.
Yeah, she's seen it so many times, hasn't she, and Father Tim, but you know, it's still the same nerves every time that the Suns race.
Yeah, absolutely, it doesn't change. Meanwhile, Turkington, which way is he going to go? Moves back to the outside, then tries to make the cutback that we saw O'Neill do earlier, but hasn't quite got the pace that he needs to do that. Still looking for the inside line. Jackson looking to the outside. They're all trying to find position into the chicane now, but it's still Johnny Adam who can control it because he's got just enough of an advantage. Here comes Matt Jackson down the outside. It's like chess when it gets like this.
Yeah, it's great defensive driving, but of course the end result is that all three slow each other down. But what Johnny Adam is hoping is that by defending this hard, Jackson will attack Turkington. It'll give him a break.
Yep, Adam Jones in the background in the yellow and green Cartridge World Seat. He's sitting in 8th place. Dave Pinkney's up into 9th, by the way, and Collard, who was off earlier on in this race, you remember, he's now in 10th place. So he's done well and gives himself a chance, perhaps, of a reverse grid if it goes all the way down to the top 10.
Well, of course, it was 10 that were reversed at Thruxton, and that gave Paul O'Neill the chance in the final race. Didn't work out for him after a puncture, but it would certainly help Collard if the positions stay as they are.
Yep, just outside the top 10 at the moment is Paul O'Neill. He's sitting in 11th. And then we've got Volkart. Here he comes, Turkington up the inside of Johnny Adam. And Adam might lose 2 places in one go. What happened there, Tim?
Well, it's just a great move up the inside. It's quite a safe place to pass if you can. And he managed to get completely alongside Turkington, alongside Adam. And there was no way back for Adam before Jackson had got through as well. So, good pass.
Good pass then. Turkington up into 5th. And remember, he started in 19th place. Take another look at this.
Well, look at that. He leaves it really late. And Johnny Adam actually had covered at least half of the circuit, and somehow Turkington found the gap on the inside and got the car slowed down. Very good pass.
Good awareness from Adam too. He was aware just at the right moment that Turkington was coming through. Back to the leaders though. James Thompson still controlling this race. We're into the last few laps now. We're on lap 16 out of 19, and not much to choose between James Thompson and Matt Neal. Now, where is Giovinardi? Well, he's still a couple of seconds further back. He still has not really been able to reel these guys in.
No, Matt Neal will be very pleased about that as well, because he's carrying a bit more weight than Giovinardi, and Giovinardi hasn't been able to close him down. This is really good, dry pace from Matt Neal.
Yeah, he'll be very chuffed about it. Of course, Donington's been a great circuit for him over the years. He won a cheque for £250,000 here once by winning a race. And,
yes, I was standing on the pit wall when it happened, working for the Dynamics team. I never got a penny of it, but it was a great day.
It was, and Matt loves this place and has been associated with it. It's his local circuit, of course. And he's here sitting in 2nd place at the moment to James Thompson, who could become the first repeat winner of the 2009 season. In fact, of course, if Matt gets past him, it would still be our first repeat winner. Either of these guys, they've both won a race already this year. Giovinardi sitting 3rd, he's also won a race. So's Plato in 4th, so's Turkington in 5th, so's Jackson in 6th. Top 6 cars in this race have all won a race so far, but it looks like we could be on for a peak victory here today.
Yeah, I think, I mean, the best chance for Matt to get past is probably the same place we saw Turkington pass. It's the only braking area which is slightly compromised as you're turning to the left and not braking a straight line.
And it is one of his favourites. We saw him do it on Muller, I think, some years ago.
Yeah, we were all shocked, and then he kept doing it again and again. But it requires a very good exit here from the old hairpin, and a slight mistake from Thompson, who does appear to always have the legs on him. And there's James's girlfriend in the pits.
Yeah, just watching to see what's going on and whether he's going to hold on for 2 out of 2 here at Donington. Giovanardi in the background. Then it's Plato. Plato, those guys have got a little stuck. They don't seem to be making quite the progress they would like to make. And Plato made a few changes to the car after the wet race this morning. Felt he was really struggling for grip. Got a knock in the race as well, which actually bent a track rod and improved the handling, ironically.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. It looks to me like both Giovanardi and Plato have closed the gap on Neil and Thompson. I want to see the lap times this lap, because it certainly looks like the gap has reduced. And although there's only a couple of laps to go, they've certainly got better.
Dave Pinkney, meanwhile, battling with Rob Collard. This is for 9th position. Both of them could be in with a shout of being on the front row on the reverse grid. Then you've got Volkard and O'Neill coming through there. So there's been a change there. Volkard's got past O'Neill on that last lap and brought himself back into 11th place, but outside the points, of course, as Rob Collard just has a little go at getting past Dave Pinkney, cuts in late and deep into the corner so that he gets a good exit out of it. But is that going to be enough? No, not quite.
No, very close racing here. Pinkney loving his return to British touring cars, but a bit of a wiggle there. And funny enough, he said to me before practice the car was a lot more stable to drive, but it certainly looked like it had a wiggle there.
Yeah, the back end of the car's just beginning to look a little looser. Here comes Collard. He can sense a chance up to McLean's, which is the corner we were talking about. You can make the move where Turkington went past, but Pinkney's got it covered on the inside, and Collard's going to end up frustrated.
Yeah, it looks like it, but it could go down to the last lap, and we've seen Rob be aggressive then.
Yeah, we have. We're coming on to that now. We'll be coming down to the final lap in a moment. It's still James Thompson that leads this race. This is the battle for 9th place at the moment. Dave Pinkney covering to the inside. Collard there, right behind him, lights ablaze, desperate to try and make up for the incident earlier on, which dropped him way down the order, and off has gone Martin Bell. So the other Sunshine.co.uk car in trouble, but he gets back on the tarmac. He's running 14th at the moment. I don't think he lost any extra places as a result of that little mishap. Meanwhile, there's the leader on the final lap. It's James Thompson, up by half a second over Matt Neal. This is a great run though for Matt Neal. Matt Neal, the champion in the background. Plato is right with Giovanardi as well. So those two are looking very, very close to one another. But it's Thompson who is leading as they come up towards McLean's. One of the last overtaking opportunities has gone. There's Pinkney in trouble. Pinkney may have had a collision with Collard. We'll have to take a look at that in a minute. But Thompson's teammate, that was, of course, Dave Pinkney, in trouble. But Thompson himself is looking good. He's looking strong. Out of Coppice Corner, he comes. That Honda engine powering them all the way down the straight towards the chicane for the final time. There's surely no challenge here from Matt Neal. He's going to continue scoring points for the championship, is Matt Neal. Out of the final corner they come. It's going to be pretty close, but it's going to be James Thompson who becomes the first double winner of 2009. It's 2 out of 2 here at Donington Park, his 35th career victory. What a weekend it's turning into for Team Dynamics. 2nd for Matt Neal, 3rd for Giovanardi, 4th for Jason Plato, and this is for the 9th position, we think. O'Neill just coming through. I'm not sure actually. Volkard might come through in Volkard has come through in 10th. This is for 11th. So across the line goes O'Neill. He finishes 11th, and 12th goes to Dave Pinkney. There was that little incident between them on that final lap. But James Thompson, what a super drive from him, under pressure throughout from Matt Neal. Another double champion, of course. All 3 drivers there at the top end have won 2 championships each. This is the Collard-Pinkney incident. Let's see what happened. Coming down into Kroenecker, very tight, wasn't it? Oh, no, what happened there? That was a strange one there to quite work out what that was. Maybe just holding it in tighter because he had the car on the outside and the back end of the car let go on him. But Pinkney did finish the race down in 12th place. Thompson has done it though. He has taken that 2nd win, the first driver this year to make it 2 wins in any of the meetings so far. and Matt Neal finishes in second place. Giovanardi in third, so VX Racing having a pretty good run of it there. Jason Plato in the Racing Silver Line Chevrolet was fourth. Turkington came from 19th on the grid to finish fifth. Matt Jackson started 10th, he finished sixth. Jonathan Adams was seventh. Then Adam Jones in 8th place. Rob Collard, after that incident earlier on, there was contact between him and Jordan. He dropped into the back. He fought back up to 9th. And Harry Volkard in the points again in 10th place. Just outside the points, Paul O'Neill had the spin at the start. Dave Pinkney, then Morrison, John George, Martin Bell, Johnson, Chilton, and then out of the race, Andrew Jordan, Nick Leeson and Liam McMillan. Those results are at the moment provisional. There are a couple of question marks over potential overtaking manoeuvres under yellow flags. So that's something we're going to have to listen out for and see if the race director or whether the stewards take any decisions there to change that result. But I don't think there'll be any change, certainly to the top three. James Thompson was in control throughout that race, and despite carrying the 45 kilos of lead on board that car, he managed to hold off the series leader and former double champion Matt Neal. And I think, as Tim said earlier on, the fact that that car worked well with the lead on board is certainly a step forward for that team. They have struggled in the past, Team Dynamics, with the car when it's had a heavy load of lead on board, the success ballast that you get as a result of winning an earlier race. But there, James Thompson seemed to handle it extremely well, didn't slow him down too much, and he was able to fend off the Vauxhall Vectra behind him of Matt Neal. So the scrutineering checks done up at the top end of the pit lane, and then he'll be bringing a car down into Parc Fermé. As long as he can get it fired up. Doesn't want it to not fire up, because that was the problem that Giovanardi had yesterday after setting pole position. And there's delight down there in the Team Dynamics camp. It's 2 out of 2, Steve, for a certain James Thompson.
Well, be it wet or dry, the result is just the same. Another victory for James Thompson. Back-to-back wins at Donington here this afternoon, and James, former champion, becomes the first two-time winner in the championship so far this season. Another dominant performance from high up on the grid. That's a serious injury to our cameraman, but that's about the only damage he's inflicted throughout the entire weekend so far. Congratulations, James, winner once again. And another race, it seemed that you dominated from the first corner once again.
Yeah, it was pretty tough as that one. Obviously, a little bit more pressure than the first race. But I have to say, you know, it's nice to win in both conditions. First time we've run with the ballast for winning, which we obviously were over the moon about after the first race. And yeah, put under pressure by Matt. But yeah, pleased for Team Dynamics. They've put a fantastic effort into the car over the last few weeks, and just rewards for them. So big thanks to them.
And how did the car perform with ballast?
Magically. Absolutely fantastic. I have to say, the balance of the car is the best it's been all weekend, so just have to keep winning some races, keep the ballast in it. But no, very, very pleased, and timely finish to the race.
Yeah, the rain is just starting once again. First two-time winner in the championship so far this season. Is this an early bid for the title?
Well, you know, never say never. But I'm just pleased we've progressed forward, and hopefully we can keep that going for the rest of the season, and get these guys to the top step all the time where they deserve to be.
Just
sensational progress, Matt.
One mistake. That's all I asked for. One mistake.
You just waited. It never came.
He was too good that time, too quick in the right places, and I was just waiting for that one mistake. I even waited right to the last corner, he still didn't do it.
It was just like old times. James, Matt, it was a good battle. You go and congratulate your team. Well done, Matt, as well. Race 3 might be a little bit different. We'll be back with further reaction to what we've seen in this second touring car race of the afternoon, and we'll be back also with the draw that will reshape the grid for our third race, which is coming up at 5:15. All that coming up right after the break.